Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Car 5 Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today for episode number 170 of the Car 5 Podcast. You guys know me, of course. I'm your host, Joshua. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Hummer, which I never thought we would even bring up on this show, and how it is making a return, electrified. Quite literally. So yes, this is actually happening. It's not a joke. We are actually talking about the once known brand Hummer and how it is making an electrified return. Quite literally. For those of you that don't remember the Hummer, I'm pretty sure everyone would. It was a vehicle that was actually used in the military and then brought into production for literally just customers and citizens to actually have. And it had some pretty unique styling to it. It came out as a brand in 1992 to the public for people to buy. And it ended, unfortunately, in 2010 within GM as they were just struggling financially and car sales wise. And this is a brand that it suffered a little bit. And, unfortunately, it passed and it just did not make it. But it is making a comeback as an electric vehicle. Rather, the Hummer is making a comeback as an electric truck, which is something I find very interesting. This is a big swing for GM. It's a big swing. Not saying it can't be successful. I think it's a little bit of a risk, but if they play their cards right, it's a risk that can absolutely pay off big time. So they're going full force on bringing the Hummer back with electric power. But GM is going about this very smart. They're not just going to try exactly what they did before. Rather, they got a few tricks up their sleeve and a pretty interesting marketing plan. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk about some of the competition the electric Hummer is going to have. Keep in mind, this is a brand that came, and then, like I said earlier, unfortunately, it did die. So they gotta get that brand loyalty back. They gotta tell customers this is a brand they can love, it's a brand they can trust, and it's a brand that they can rely on. Which is definitely not easy to do, especially when you're having to bring it back to life. But their competition, it's going to be the Tesla Cybertruck. It's going to be Ford's upcoming electric F-150 and Rivian's RT1 electric truck, which reminds me, we have not talked about that car in this show, so we should probably do a podcast episode about that one. When you throw this electric Hummer truck into the mix, it's definitely going to be a game of capturing consumer market share in sales, and it's going to be a tough one. There's no question about it. But again, it comes down to their plan, GM's plan of bringing this electric Hummer into the game. And how are they going to do that? Well, they've actually hired Lakers basketball superstar LeBron James. Pretty sure there's no explanation there. You should know who he is. To premiere in a Super Bowl ad showcasing the electric Hummer next couple weeks or so when the Super Bowl is. It's right around the corner. So he will be the face of the electric Hummer, which is actually set to debut in 2022. And we've also learned that GM is actually going to have the electric Hummer built in their Detroit Hamtramck plant, which they're currently remodeling right now and revitalizing to be able to house and build the electric Hummer. And whenever a factory or a brand does decide to do that with an electric vehicle, I've actually seen this process happen on YouTube and actually dealerships as well, wanting to create the ability to market an electric vehicle for dealerships, as I know one down the street from me is doing right now. It's a big job to do that, to not only house the vehicles, but to supply them as well, because keep in mind, if they don't have the tools necessary to work on them already, but also at the same time to house them with charging stations, and this is just from a dealership perspective, it's a big and expensive job that dealership owners are going to have to take on. But not only that, the ability to create the vehicle as well, it's just a whole different ballgame. It's not like creating a normal mechanical vehicle. The electric game is completely different. And that's what GM is doing with their Detroit Hamtramck plant. They're currently remodeling that to do just so. Now, in order to learn more, we literally just got to go ahead and wait for the Super Bowl ad to premiere with LeBron James and see what this thing looks like and hopefully learn some specifications. And I have no doubt about it that when this ad actually premieres, we are going to learn more about it. But what do you guys think about the Hummer coming back into the game? I think it's going to be very difficult. This is just, just being truthful and honest. I think it's going to be very hard for GM to bring this thing back into life. No question it's possible. They're just taking a brand that people knew and the brand died within themselves, and then they're bringing it back again. So it's kind of like we're giving it a second try kind of vibe, but we're appealing to the electric customer market. I don't know. I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's also pretty cool, but from the little specifications we do know, I do think it is possible. It just comes down to the build quality of the car and how are you going to market it. They definitely got the marketing down. There's no question about that. But let's see about that build quality and let's see how the car actually performs. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all we got for episode number 170. Very brief today, talking about the upcoming return of the electric Hummer from General Motors. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's going to be successful? Do you think it's not? Let me know. I'd love to have a conversation about this. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, like on Facebook. If you guys are checking out the podcast for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to head over to the YouTube channel as well, unless you're watching on YouTube already. And if you are, thank you so much. And once you get to the channel, just browse around. If you guys see what you like, hit that subscribe button. And if you don't mind, leave a like on this video as well. If you ever need anything from me, just shoot me an email, info@car5podcast.com. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. Your guys' go-to source for the best car apparel out there. If you're looking for your favorite hat, shirt, jacket, or accessory from your favorite car company, www.tog.com. Your guys' go-to source for the best car apparel. Last but most certainly not least, don't forget to tune into our next episode, 171. We're talking about the Fisker Ocean, again, the 100% electric SUV from the revived brand Fisker, and we got an update and more specifications on that. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please remember to drive safe and have a fantastic evening. Thank you.